What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And Evermigrate is on the screen. That can only be one thing. V2 contracts. Let's talk about Saitama and whether they're going to migrate or not. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've just blown through 4,000 subscribers, so the journey continues on to that 5K mark, and let's talk about it. So we'll come back to the Evermigrate platform and what that is kind of usable. But look, Saitama up 9% on the day, and it is absolutely doing some work right now. Up 13% on the week, 6661 if you read into that. Then don't get too worried. $352 million market cap, 1.8 million in volume. Remember, this is going through Uniswaps. It's about 2 million going through Satamas, and just climbing towards 11 million in liquidity. 363,540 holders according to DexTools, and a couple of solid days of green candles. So good to see from a Saitama's perspective. Now, all the talk is around whether they should migrate to a V2 contract. So I did a video kind of earlier on in the week when this first started to get talked about. And look, my opinion off the bat straight away before we really get into it is I think they should migrate. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I think they won't. Around the holder counts, this credibility thing. But at the same time, I think if they did migrate to a V2 contract, I could see Saitama absolutely exploding. I genuinely believe that. I think people would flock back to the project. I think it would give them an opportunity to upgrade their contract. It would give them the opportunity to put marketing wallets in place. They could really land an incredibly sophisticated contract aligned to centralized exchanges and everything else. And I think that more than anything would really start to ramp this project up. We've seen it with a couple of tokens. Mandox did it, and it was seamless. It was so seamless. And the most recent one being Vault Inu. And what we've then seen is that the Vault army have just got behind the project. They understand why they did it. And the Vault price has absolutely gone to the moon. It has had a correction. We just take a quick look at it now. 2096 being the price. But again, it's starting to run, and it is ready for centralized exchanges. It's ready to kind of go, and they are listing utility like it is going out of fashion. So I think Saitama would be naive to certainly not be talking about it, but I think they already are. That's my opinion. So look, we got this tweet from Max Hernandez. There may have been a misunderstanding today and some information taken out of context. Nothing for Saitama V2 has been confirmed. Someone asked about the possibility, and I stated we have looked at the pros and the cons, but nothing definitive. If decided, will be announced officially. Okay, here's the bit I want you to really think about. Nothing for Saitama V2 has been confirmed. Okay, now, again, I could be reading between the lines, but why would they call it Saitama V2? That feels like it's already got a name. That feels like it's already been talked about. If that was the first time they'd really spoke about, you'd say something like, well, nothing for a migration's been agreed on, nothing for a new contract. Saitama V2 feels like it's almost Vault V2, Mandox V2, feels like it's already been spoke about. Now, again, you know, it would come out of the definitive things, but what does this tell us? It tells us this is in discussion. It tells us it's been talked about. It tells us it is on the developer table. And I think this is probably a bit nearer than they are letting on. I definitely think it's been talked about. And the fact that we've got Saitama V2 in here tells me that that is already listed, it's already named, it's already got a project that they are working on. Now, again, like anything, there are pros and cons to it. If they moved across, they would absolutely not have 360,000 holders. We all know that. I think that's plain for everyone to see. But what they would have is the solid holders, the community, the foundation, the pillar of the Saitama community by having those holders in it. Now, we have seen some bullish news. So we did get this. So after weeks of negotiations, planning discussions, we are proudly partners with epay.me. This is just the beginning. We still have to reach the rest of the world. Keep up the spirit, Wolfpack. So this is a card to crypto payment mechanism. So buy Saitama directly from your credit card or debit card. Now, we know originally back in the day, Russ talked about it being a Visa payment and Visa partnerships and all the rest of it. But look, I guess from the point of now, you can buy Saitama from your credit or debit card. It's part of, I think, a UAE-based business, but epay.me is now partnered with Saitama, so you can do it. So again, that's another step forward. Now, what would be really good to see is an integration into this. Now, the fact they've tagged Satamask Pro means, could we see an integration of ePay into Satamask? Therefore, you can buy your Saitama straight from your credit card, and then you are into the Saitama ecosystem buying some of those projects that are on Satamask. Absolutely quite possible. And then look, finally, we did get a bullish tweet from Russ, came out a bit earlier today. In my opinion, the results of the interest rate increase, as inferable as they are, was the last thing holding the bull run back. Now that it's decided let the crypto summer begin, watch a massive influx of funds that have already come pouring back into the market in the last hour. And we have seen that today. The market, like I said at the start of the video, up over 6% as people start to look for opportunities to find funds elsewhere. So I do think we're going to see it now. We've got to see what it maintains through the week. We've got to make sure it's not a fake out and that it just kind of tumbles back down. But certainly when you look at the charts, we can see a lot of green candles in a lot of projects that have been down recently, in particular Saitama being one of them. Now, right at the very start of the video, I did talk about Evermigrate. Again, it's super simple platform. You can see how easy it is. You select your tokens and you migrate it over. It is literally the easiest platform. It's a great project. I've got a couple of videos on the channel, so if you don't know what it is, go and check it out. But I think, for what it's worth, Saitama would benefit from a V2 contract. I think a lot of people would load their bags up, a lot of people would come back, and it would give them a platform to go into the bull run, really set to absolutely send this project back to where it should be. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Should they migrate or shouldn't they? And I'll catch you guys in the next video.